Morning, all. All right, so we have 7 games today in the National Hockey League. It's a busy week outside of Thursday. Thursday, of course, being American Thanksgiving. So, that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the 7 games. Starting at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, the Minnesota Wild go in to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. It does not get easier for Minnesota on this road trip. Minnesota's 11-6. Tampa Bay is 9-4-3 so far in their season. This is the first of 2 meetings. The other one will be in Minnesota a week from today. So they will get to know each other well over the next 7 days, and then they won't see each other for at least a year after. So let me know who you think is going to win that matchup, because it's going to be an interesting one. Then an hour later, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, the Buffalo Sabres and New York Rangers renew their acquaintances. And this is going to be an interesting one. Buffalo's 7-2. I'm wearing Rangers. They're 10-4-3. This is one that the Rangers should win, right? So this should be an interesting game because Buffalo's been winning games they shouldn't, losing games they should. Like, it's just, they're unpredictable, right? So this is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again on December 10th, and then they'll meet on March 27th. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight with this one. Well, this afternoon. Well, for me, it's this afternoon starting at 3, but for most people watching this, it'll be evening or nighttime if you're in Europe. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. 1 game gets started then. That's Boston at home against Calgary. This will be fascinating. Calgary 10-3-5. Boston 9-5. This is the first of 2 meetings. They meet again on December 11th. Boston has got things rolling right now, but so does Calgary. So this will be a really good matchup between 2 teams that have been playing pretty well lately. Then a half an hour later, at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, the Toronto Maple Leafs in against the New York Islanders. So the Islanders had a rough night last night, and now they get to play the Toronto Maple Leafs, who also had a rough night last night. Toronto 12-6-1 on the season. The Islanders 5-7-2. This is the second game at UBS Arena, and it's the first of 3 meetings between these teams. And it means John Tavares is on the second team to come into UBS Arena and play. So there will likely be some booing when John Tavares goes near the puck. First of 3 meetings. The second will be on January 22nd, and the third will be on April 17th. So, they'll get to know each other pretty well. At 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, the Chicago Blackhawks in against Vancouver Canucks. Chicago in a little bit of a different place than they were the last time they met Vancouver, which was on October 21st, a game that Vancouver won 4-1. They won relatively easily, and Chicago's playing better hockey than they were then. They're coming off of a disappointing loss last night against Edmonton. Might be kind of fired up tonight. So they're 5-10-2 on the season. The Canucks are 6-10-2. So both records, not great. And both teams looking to turn around what has been a slow first quarter of their season. The next meeting between these teams and final meeting will be on January 31st. At 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the Washington Capitals in against the Seattle Kraken. Washington 11-2-5. Seattle 4-12-1. This feels like a trap. This feels like the kind of game where, Washington should win this easily, and Seattle should allow 5 or 6 goals. Ovechkin should get the hat trick. And yet, it also, to me, kind of feels like, because it's that obvious, that maybe Seattle ends up winning this game, but we'll see. Just 2 regulation losses for Washington. They are playing very well. We'll see if that continues. The next meeting between these teams, the second and final, will be March 5th. So this is the first meeting ever between the Capitals and the Kraken. We'll see how it goes. Then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the last game of the night starts, which is the 3-13-2 Arizona Coyotes in against the 8-7-2 LA Kings. If LA takes Arizona lightly, they could lose. LA has played very well over the last few weeks, but they have lost a couple now, and we'll see how things go. For Arizona, they haven't lost in regulation in their last 3 games, and they're coming off that overtime win against Detroit last night. Things are looking pretty good. So it's the first of 3 meetings between these teams. They'll meet again on December 27th as well as February 23rd. So we'll see if Arizona can continue getting the odd upset here and there, and maybe we'll stop talking about them as one of the worst teams ever and just being part of a group of pretty bad teams. That's an improvement. You're out of the historical range then you're just kind of a bad team. But we'll see what happens. Let me know your winners in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.